What's going on, Aurora Alliance, and welcome to a sort of Rogue One, a Star Wars story review, in the sense that I'm going to be going over how Darth Vader actually was in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. First of all, I want to thank that Merry James J67 for this Darth Vader gameplay you're seeing on screen on Extraction. I unfortunately can't get online to Star Wars Battlefront today. I don't know what's going on. My Xbox doesn't seem to connect to the internet, so I couldn't get any proper gameplay for myself other than the skirmish gameplay you're going to see later on, just to show off Darth Vader's multitasking abilities and how powerful he actually is. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm not going to spoil it too much, but I'm going to be telling you now that Darth Vader in this film is exactly how Darth Vader in Star Wars Battlefront is now, with his multitasking abilities, his absolute badass, and the fact he's just a complete tank who just destroys rebels for the fun of it. Well, that's what it looks like, to be honest with you. So if you have seen the film, you will know Darth Vader barely features in the film, apart from in the last sort of 15 minutes, where we get to see a couple of minutes of him just going absolutely ham on rebel soldiers. We get to see him actually in the Bacta tank. Now, the Bacta tank scene is what you are seeing coming on screen now. It's not the full scene, it is just a sort of capture, which is from a trailer, which we already knew kind of was going to happen, but we didn't know Darth Vader was going to be the one in this Bacta tank. In the movie, when you see him in this Bacta tank, it is slightly gross, because as the Bacta tank drains, we obviously get to see Darth Vader just sort of in his flesh form, where he has sort of no arms and no legs, and he's badly scarred, and he's sort of just hanging there from wires and things. And it's kind of a bit scary, to be honest with you, and it is gross. But that is the first time we see Darth Vader in this film. The Bacta tank is actually inside of Darth Vader's castle. Now, this castle that Darth Vader is actually living in, is what it seems like he's doing, is on Mustafar. Now, we do know that Mustafar is the place in which he sort of turned fully into Darth Vader when Obi-Wan left him scarred and burning on Mustafar until Palpatine found him and transformed him into Darth Vader in the suit. Now, Darth Vader's castle was almost in The Empire Strikes Back, where legendary concept artist Ralph McQuarrie created art depicting the structure, with at least one image placing it amid lava as per George Lucas's request. This idea obviously didn't make it into the final film, and again, decades later, the castle almost showed up in The Force Awakens, with Vader's daughter Leia now in possession of it. That was also written out of the film, and then we finally got to see it in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, where he seems to be sort of hanging out, living, recuperating in the Bacta tank before he just goes out and destroys rebels and does his normal Darth Vader-y type things. Then he goes and has his conversation with director Krennic, which we get a glimpse of in the Rogue One, a Star Wars story trailers. So again, I'm not really spoiling much there, apart from who was actually in the Bacta tank, but we all suspected it was going to be Darth Vader or Emperor Palpatine. Now, in these last sort of 15 minutes I'm talking about, where we get to see Darth Vader go ham for about 2 or so minutes destroying rebels, I'm not going to show you that full scene. I'm just going to be showing you a Star Wars Battlefront trailer, which actually showed Darth Vader going ham on some rebels, just deflecting the shots, and the rebel stands no chance at all. That is kind of how it is in the film, and he's just a complete tank. My two favourite sort of portrayals of Darth Vader are definitely now in Star Wars Battlefront and in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, because like I keep saying, in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, Darth Vader is just a complete boss, and he doesn't really sort of take much crap, and he wields the Force and his lightsaber to an extreme effect, to the point where it's really terrifying, to be honest with you. I haven't seen anyone in a Star Wars movie sort of go as big as he did in this last portion of the Rogue One film. Now, that links back to Star Wars Battlefront, because in Star Wars Battlefront now, Darth Vader can multitask. He can force choke while blocking, and also while attacking other rebel troopers. So he is really strong in Star Wars Battlefront, and that matches up perfectly with how he is in the film. If you have seen this film, let me know down in the comment section below what you think of Darth Vader's presence in it and what he does. Please don't, go crazy and spoil exactly what happens. I know I've kind of done that, so, my bad. Smash like on the video if you have enjoyed it, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to join the Aurora Alliance to be kept up to date with all things Star Wars. Other than that, may the Force be with you.